So the last thing we're going to look at now we have that is that how we might use this in our main activity. So let's look at the main activity. Now usually you'd have a whole user interface here. So you might have in your XML file you might have a whole list, some sort of list or object that would list out all the planets, and then you'd click on them to select planets, and depending on which planet you selected you'd have command or methods here that would listen for selections of item in the list. You might have pop-up windows with buttons, and when you click on the buttons you might delete a planet or create a planet. You'd use the menu system to maybe add planets and stuff. So that all would be here. Now we're going to skip over all that just to simplify this. So we're going to assume that's all here, but we're just going to put this all in the main method just to show you how it's generally done. So in our main method, we're going to access our data access object. So again, the main method is just going to access this object. We're going to create an object of that type. So create an object of this type, and we're going to pass this activity to it. This is needed to create the database and stuff like that. So we create our planet database is one of these planet table data access objects, or a data source, depending on what terminology you want. And then we're going to want to open that, and then when we're done, we're going to want to close that. So we've opened up this database, our data access object here, and we're going to use it. Now we also remember have to close that. So this is in the onCreate method. We're going to use the onDestroy method. We really haven't talked about this, I don't think, yet. And then we're going to close the database yet. Now, if we look at the activity lifecycle, remember there's a whole bunch of methods that are called when an activity is running. When it's first started, the onCreate method is started up and called, and that's what we use a lot. There's also an onStart and onResume method. There's an onPause, onStart, and the last one is onDestroy. So this is the one we're grabbing to close the database off. So we're going to like we have an onCreate method, we're going to have an onDestroy method, and like before we just call the super method, the parent method, and then we're just going to close our database. So open it here, close it there. Okay, so now let's just try to do some of this different CRUD activities here. The first one we talked about, we did the open and close already. Create a planet. So to create a planet, we can just say planet database dot create planet, and then give it the string. So this will create a planet, return a planet object with us. So we can do that easy enough. If we want to list out all the planets, we can say get all the planets and create an array list of all the planets. Now often when we do this, we're going to maybe have an array adapter and list out all the planets into a list. I mean a list adapter, an array adapter for a list, and set up all the planets to go to a list. Again, I'm not going to do this here. This is just to show this one part of the interface for it. And so to show that it's working, I'm just going to grab in my text view, I've got a single planet there. And so I'm just going to display that out there. So here's the first planet database, and I've got my planet list, and I'm just going to get the first item in the first planet, and I want to display something, so I'm just going to display the planet's name, and I'll display that. So I think in our database, let's see, Earth is the first planet, and the name is Earth, so this will just say the first planet in the database is Earth when you run this. So this gets all the planets and returns a list. You can also just get one planet, and down here where we do a delete, I use that here. I say planet DB get one planet and specify Mars, and then we delete Mars. We say planet db.delete planet Mars here. We can also do things like update a planet. So here we got Saturn above. When we created it with the wrong values there. So now I'm going to update the value of the gravity, and then I'm going to go planet. Okay, back. Planet db dot update planet, and then specify the Saturn. So this is a planet object I have, and then this will update the database one. So again, once we've got this data access object here, we can use it pretty simply. We can create planets, create objects, update them, delete them, get one object, or get the whole list of them. And so again, it kind of separates all of our data access away from this user interface stuff. So the user interface just has to work here.